What's going on, guys? Nick Poker here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting the channel this early on. It really does mean the world to me. And in this episode, we're going to be reviewing a cash game that I played in the MicroStakes WSOP website. On this one, we played for about 35-minute session, and we actually did double up in that time and then some, which was a very good goal of ours. Usually we play for a while before that happens, but we caught some good hands, and we were able to get some max value out of all of our hands. In this episode, I'll be doing about 6 hands where I give an in-depth analysis as it pertains to how I play the hand. And for the upcoming videos, I'll be doing the same thing, as well as doing some just videos of me talking, breaking things down, giving my strategy and some pointers. So thank you so much for watching, and please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. What's going on, guys? We're going to go ahead and start this vlog off with pocket jacks in the small blind. Looks like we get a limper, another limper. This is not exactly what we want to see. We have a bunch of limpers here. You don't really want a hand like this to go into a limped pot, just because there's going to be hands that'll suck out on you, really random hands, random 2 pairs, trips, straight draws. So instead of a 2.5x raise, we're going to go 5x, which will put it to 10. This is going to be to isolate a couple of people that might have hands, but we're still ahead on. So we get 1 caller so far, which is good, and a fold, and another fold, 1 more call, and hopefully we get another fold. So we get a fold. It's 3 ways to a flop. We have overpair. This is a great flop. We're hoping here, we're going to go ahead and bet here about 3/4 pot. About 60% pot, excuse me. So the reason why we go 60% pot here is we're hoping somebody has an ace-king draw or a diamond draw that we can get value out of. So the turn comes an 8. I don't put my opponent on any 8 just because of the action pre-flop. So here I still think that we're good with our ace-king draw. They might have pocket 10s or pocket 9s, but we're well ahead in smashing those hands. So a 6 comes. This is not a scare card whatsoever. They could have a 7-9 type situation, but I highly doubt it. I don't think a straight fill, and definitely not a flush. I put them on a diamond draw, ace-king, or 9s or 10s. So we're going to go ahead and value bet for a little over half pot, and we'll see what we can get to call. And this is about half pot, and they call. So we got paid off on that hand. Like I said, probably 9s, 10s at that point. Maybe they had a pair of 5s and they just thought I was light, but we get them to call. So the next hand, we're in the small blind again with ace-10 of diamonds. This is a very playable hand. We got a limper here. And then on the button, we get raised to 4.5x. We are going to call, even though we're out of position. This is a strong enough holding to where we can just see a flop with it and see what happens. So we flop Yahtzee here. We did flop trips with an ace kicker. So this is the best flop that we could have. However, there is a flush draw out there, so we do want to protect our hand against that. But we don't want to bet too much to scare him away and just say, oh, we have the 10. So we go ahead and bet about 1/3 pot. They call. So the turn card comes a 6. Now, I don't feel like this did much. It could have brought in another flush draw, so we are going to have to continue on and bet. At this point, I want them to know that we have the 10 and that they're beat. If they continue to draw, that's on them. So here we are. We're sizing up a bet here. We go 28, which is slightly over half pot, and we get raised. So here we are. We can either raise and get this all in, or we can go ahead and call. So we go ahead and call, and now we fill up. We have 100% the best hand. We have full house. The only way we're going to lose to pocket 6s if they have quads, and they can take it if they have it. Just take it. But we're going to go ahead and bet about half pot here and see what we can get to call. So with this half pot bet, we have to see what they're going to do. They go all in, so it's only 34 more cents. We have the nuts. There's no way that we're going to lose here. And they have the same hand. Same hand, kind of. We had them dead until the river, and that was an unfortunate run out, but chop. All right, so the next hand, we have Queen-Jack offsuit on the button. This is a pretty strong holding in late position. But we get raised to 7 cents. This isn't exactly what you want to see. A lot of times I would say to fold this. However, we are in position, so this is a hand that I would absolutely want to play in position. So we're going to go ahead and put in a call, not a raise. We don't have a good enough hand to go ahead and do that with. So here comes 9, 6, 8 of hearts. We have the queen high flush draw here, and we have a straight draw and 2 overcards. At this point, we have about 68% equity, so this full pot bet is exactly what we want to see to build a pot for our draw. So we are going to call. This tells me that they may have a flush draw themselves. So now we hit our jack. So we hit top pair here. Pretty good kicker. So they put in another full pot bet, a little over. We're going to go ahead and call. Now we've improved to 2 pair. So unless they flopped a flush, we have the best hand. Unless they have king 10. And we do. So we go ahead and check back just in case they have something better, and we did have the best hand. So the next hand, we're under the gun with ace-king offsuit. We go ahead and raise to 2.5x. We get a couple of folds, 1 call, and now in the small blind, they fold, and the big blind folds. So it's heads up to a flop, and we flop a monster. We have the nut straight draw, and we have 2 overcards. So we're going to go ahead and bet about half pot here, see if we can get a caller for another straight draw, or top pair. They might have an ace-queen type situation, king-queen, and eventually that's exactly what I put them on. So at this point, we have about 38% equity, and we go ahead and hit our draw. So we bet half pot with 38% equity, which was a great size bet, and we hit it. So we go ahead and check here, even though we hit our draw, because we want our opponent to hang themselves. We want them to bet here so that we can get in some more money. That's what you want. We played it a little sneaky, maybe think that we didn't hit the draw, maybe the jack scared us, yada, yada, yada. They might think we have the 10 at this point, and they're trying to take it down. So what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and get more money into this pot so that we can get the max value. So we're going to go ahead and raise to 2.5x. We're going to make it 62 and see if we can get a call here for top pair, which would probably be ace-queen or king-queen. And they call, and it looks like a 3 of hearts comes with us, which is a total blank. At this point, now we're thinking, how much money can we get out of them? What can we bet? So a flush draw did come in, but that does not scare me here too much. So we are going to go about 65 cents, which is a little light, but just to protect against a check raise. And they call, and we have the best hand as we thought. So in 3 hands of play, we have doubled up our money and then some. Next hand, we're in middle position with queen 10 offsuit. We're going to go ahead and raise to 2.5x, see if we can get some more money into our pocket here. We get a fold. Small blind folds, and the big blind folds, and it goes to the original limper. Alright, so the flop comes, and it's 10-7 jack rainbow. We have middle pair here. We're going to go ahead and take a stab at this pot just because I don't think our opponent has the jack. If they do, we'll know pretty quick if he calls. And we go ahead and take that pot down. They didn't have the jack. Alright, so last hand I'll be reviewing. We have pocket jacks in middle position. And we are going to raise it to 2.5x. We had 1 limper under the gun. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get this pot going. We get a fold to the big blind, and the big blind raises me to 18. So the big blind 3-bets me. It's a 3.5x raise. And at this point, they've been a pretty tight player, so I think that we might be beat here, or they might have an ace-king in which it's a coin flip for the most part. So they go ahead and put in a continuation bet. At this point, I do feel like they have aces or kings, and now they jam. So on the turn, the king of spades comes, and they jam on us. This is not what we want to see with pocket jacks. It really does feel like their draw came through. They could have hit a set. I don't know what they're putting me on. Maybe they're putting me on jacks exactly, or maybe queens or something like that. And maybe they just hit their ace-king draw or their king-queen draw. That's what it feels like. I feel like the ace-king just got there, and they have a little less than half a buy-in left, so they're just like, you know what, I'm going to jam and say screw it and throw it all out there on my ace-king, in which case they would be right in this situation because they have me beat if that's what they have. And at this point, you have to sit there and question, okay, how often am I going to be good here? And to be honest, In this situation, I think I'm going to be good maybe 10% of the time. So does that warrant me calling an overbet? They did bet all in. It's significantly over pot, and is it worth me calling? So I ponder, and eventually I work myself into a fold, and that's what we do. I think that was the best play. But thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to comment any thoughts that you have on the video. I do appreciate your support on the channel so early on. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next video.